Welcome to another episode of Going Hot. Today we'll be shooting the Ruger Match Champion. Going hot! Here we are today down in range number 1. We're going to be shooting a Magtech 158grain semi-jacketed soft point. Yeah, soft lead round. These are quite similar to the Remington rounds that they've been making for decades. I'll let you see it close up and personal here, so you can see what it looks like. This is going to be coming out around 800 feet per second. We'll talk about the exact amount when we get back to the shop. So let's get our blue jean clad rutabaga out there. I'm afraid today, yeah, he's kind of more mud than he is rutabaga. He's kind of a small guy, and well, that's all right. We'll use him anyways. Try to not hit the mud and instead, yeah, hit that rutabaga. So let's put him up with a target and see how far that bullet penetrates and how well it expands. Going hot! Well, I was able to hit the rutabaga, I can at least say that. Pretty much center of the rutabaga, not much left of it. Let's look at here's the entry point, and here's the exit. Fairly identical. And of course, yeah, what's left of the rutabaga. Let's see where we ended up in the jugs. Yeah, she went right through that one. Whoa! Went through 2. Into the 3rd. Wow! Made it through all our jugs. Yeah. I wiped out my water supply. Well, let's get this out and see what it looks like. Well, there's the reason you got penetration. It expanded kind of oddly. It let you see that, but it did expand. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting discussion, which we're going to have back in the shop because the wind's coming up and I'm starting to get cold. So let's go do that. Well, here we are back in the shop, and I'm glad we're back because, yeah, the wind's coming up out there. It's kind of nippy. Today we're shooting a Magtech 38 Special. And if you remember last week, we shot that Black Hills, that relatively old, it's all relative actually, that kind of old Black Hills 357 Magnum semi-jacketed hollow point from the late 80s. That would be right here. And if you'll see the two, the bullets are quite similar. The only difference being they kind of have serrations on the jacket on the Magtech, where the other jacket on the Black Hills is solid. Other than that, yeah, it's the identical bullet. Really is. They really pretty much are the same, other than this one looks, yeah, it looks like it's been around a while. So I was interested to shoot it to see what it would do, because here you got 1,250 feet per second at the muzzle, and this one that we shot today was 800 feet per second at the muzzle. So yeah, a huge drop in the velocity. And yet, what happened? This one penetrated a lot more water jugs than the 357 Magnum did. And it did that because I want you to get a good close look at the expansion here. There's your expansion. and you're considerably short of the expansion on the 357 Magnum. And if you'll also remember, 357 Magnum lost a lot of its energy when it hit that rutabaga. That rutabaga went flying, and it also lost a good portion of the bullet that just kind of peeled off. The lead just kind of peeled off. The casing stayed to the bullet, but the lead peeled off it. You can see the difference in size, and we'll measure them both right now real quick because my memory's not so good on what this was. And yeah, it was a full 1/2 inch on the 357 Magnum, and the other is 3/8 of an inch. So yeah, not a lot of expansion today on our 38. You'll see it's still got a real, yeah, it's got a crater in the middle of that bullet. It's still got the bottom of the hollow point. It hasn't even spread that out to that because it didn't have enough power to really push back that casing. And this is something to think about if you're using this while at a distance. It's not going to probably go as far if you miss as the 357 Magnum, but if it hits, you got to hit something good and solid, or you may have over penetration problems because it's not going to expand a lot. Just something to think about. And all this stuff's a crapshoot anyways. But as far as the rutabaga goes, I think the way that rutabaga jumped last week with a 357 Magnum versus this tells you something. A lot of energy was lost when this bullet in the 357 Magnum hit that rutabaga compared to the 38 Special at 800 feet per second. There you go. Kind of interesting, meaningless test, but I enjoyed doing it. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys, to another episode of Going Hot. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Going Hot. Till next time, for Mr. Holster and Jack, go out and stay safe.